Hey, it's Travel Gigolo and we are at Witstrand Nature Reserve in the Northern Cape. Witstrand is a private nature reserve and has been in existence since about 1994. It's located in the Northern Cape and by road this is about 680 kilometers from Johannesburg. The majority of the journey there is via the N14, which is a national tar road. However, once you turn off the national tar road to go to the nature reserve, that's about a 70-kilometer drive of dirt road. This dirt road can be quite corrugated and a little bit rough, but you do not need a 4x4 to traverse it. A vehicle with decent clearance and a vehicle that's relatively sturdy will be good enough. The gates open at 8 a.m. in the morning and close at 6 p.m. in the evening. Distances in the Northern Cape are generally quite significant, so just make sure you take that into account during your planning. The nearest towns are Postmansberg and Olifantshoek. These are both about 80 kilometers away. A lot of that is dirt road. Uppington is the nearest large town and that's about 160 kilometers away. The nature reserve is known for its beautiful white sand dunes, which contrast quite significantly with the background landscape. The sand in this area is generally red Kalahari sand, and the Witsands or white sand are from the Kalahari sand that has been leached by significant water resources in the Witstrand area. So this makes for some epic scenery from the various viewpoints and hikes within the nature reserve. This area is quite remote as well, so it's really beautiful to experience this isolated, semi-arid wilderness. There are a number of wildlife species, this being a nature reserve, so quite a few species of antelopes, birds and reptiles as well. There are small predators within the nature reserve, so Cape fox and aardwolf for example, but these are pretty difficult to spot, especially in the daytime. There are no large predators and so you can walk quite freely around the nature reserve. Bird life is quite prolific for this type of environment, and for the keen birder there are a number of LBJs for you to decipher. There's also a bird hide which overlooks a watering hole, so be sure to check that out too. All the roads within the nature reserve are dirt roads. You don't need a 4x4 to get around. However, there is a dedicated 4x4 eco trail, so if you're keen on tackling the sand dunes, then you should definitely try that out. If you're staying over at Witstrand, there is a choice between a set of chalets and you can camp as well, which is what we prefer to do. I'll do a separate episode review of the Witstrand campsite, so be sure to check that out. There are numerous walking or hiking trails, but you can also do this by mountain bike, and if you want to, you can rent a mountain bike from the nature reserve. There's a shop on site with snacks and drinks and various other basics. Take note though that there is no fuel at the site, so it's a fair drive to get fuel. You've got to go to Olifantshoek, for example, which is about 80 kilometers away. There are picnic sites for visitors. Note of course, whether you're a day visitor or staying on the site, you've got to bring most of your supplies with you. So one of the great things is that this is a good stop over on the way to the Kalahari, if you're going to the Kalahari. So the Kalahari is a really distant park, it's quite remote, and so getting there does take a bit of time depending where you're driving from. So typically for us, driving from Johannesburg all the way there, that's quite a long trip, and this is a nice way to break that trip up. And of course you can stay here for a couple of days and just explore the area itself. So Witstrand is famous for the roaring sands. Now I haven't yet experienced the roaring sands. A couple of times that I've been up onto the dunes, the sand hasn't been roaring, and apparently you've got to come there when the conditions are just right. Nevertheless, it's a beautiful area to be in. When you're up on the sand dunes, you're quite elevated from the landscape that's around you, and that's quite a beautiful vista. There's quite a variety of wildlife within the nature reserve. No large predators, but we can certainly hear jackals, for example, and you can see quite a bit of buck. So we have seen quite a bit of springbuck, and we've seen some oryx, for example. So from that point of view, it is very nice to go around the nature reserve, and like I said before, you can walk and jog and you can cycle, so that's a nice way to get around and see the wildlife too, besides driving. What I will say though is that this is a bird lover's paradise. We have seen a plethora of bird species, And I think if you're particularly a very keen birder and you know your LBJs as well, then there are a lot of those. So not quite on that level for myself, but a lot of birding to be seen in any case. There are reportedly over 170 species of birds that are recorded within the Witsound Nature Reserve. Clearly not camelthorn, right?
Clearly not.
Camelthorn, you can see them.
Wait a minute. Oh.
No, these are not camelthorn. I'm saying it with confidence.
But there's a sign that says it's camelthorn. Are you
Now
telling me
esta
scientists mistake
camelthorn.
it?
This is not camelthorn.
It's got thorns.
Where are the pods? Maybe I'm wrong, but I've seen many camelthorns all the time. So I hope you found this informative. Hit the like button if you did. Remember to subscribe, leave a comment as well, please. And if you're gonna camp at Witsound, then check out my campsite review as well. And until the next episode, go everywhere, see everything, have a great time.